going to segue into our speaking segment tonight. We have two very good speakers on tap for each and everyone's enjoyment tonight. Our first one is Melanie Cottrell, and she's going to be speaking out of the Common Communication Manual, How to Say It. Melanie's evaluator is Mr. Ed Johnson. Ed, would you please read Melanie's objectives for the night?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster. Melanie will be speaking from the Competent Communicator Manual, project number 4. Her objectives are to select the right words in the sentence structure to communicate her ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. She will use rhetoric devices, or rhetorical devices, I should say, to enhance and emphasize ideas, eliminate jargon and unnecessary words, use the correct grammar at all times. The time for her speech is 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, Mr. Timer, would you please let Melanie know how you will be timing her speech tonight?
At the 5 minutes into the speech, the light will turn green. And for the 6 minutes, it's going to be yellow. And 7 minutes, it's going to be red. But you do have 36 grace period.
Okay, Melanie Cottrell has been a Toastmaster for several years. She has earned the coveted Distinguished Toastmaster Award as of last year. She was on the fast track to do that. She accomplished it in a matter of just a couple of years, I think. So excellent work on that. Melanie's title tonight of her speech is Has a Friend Ever Left Town and Disappeared on You? Has a friend ever left town and disappeared on you? Melanie Cottrell.
We have some new faces in the room tonight. Truth be told, some of the faces that are here tonight won't be here in 6 months or a year. It's the nature of Toastmasters. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. We used to have a member in this club that I was pretty good friends with. And then he just up and disappeared on me. He had the brilliant idea of packing up his wife, packing up his kids, and moving to Bakersfield. Who wants to live in Bakersfield? Fellow Toastmasters, when they got to Bakersfield, my friend Jeff and his wife, Christina, looked for clubs, didn't find any as good as in Beaches, but eventually they did find a club and join it. Now when they were here, Jeff was hardcore Toastmaster. He was president of the club, he was an area director, a lot like Abel. Christina, well, she's a heck of a woman, did not join this club. She'd come as a guest, and she did table topics as a guest, but she was not a member. But when they got to Bakersfield, she became a Toastmaster. And fellow Toastmasters, I have to admit, I'm not actually speaking tonight. Brian, would you open the door for me, please? Mr. Timer, you're going to want to restart the time. I'd like to welcome our guest speaker, Christina.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests. Has there ever been a time where you've had an epiphany, a simple truth? Yes? No? I know I have, many times in my life. And I'd like to share some of those times with you tonight. A simple truth is something that explains or controls how things happen or work. I'd like to share 3 simple truths with you tonight. Blame game. Life is not meant to be a blame game. If you take blame and place it on others, what happens? You don't win. Nobody wins. That's a game you will never, ever win. The word should, could, would, those are all great words. said that, yes. I know I have. If only I could do this. Oh, I wish I could do this. It would be so neat if I could be an artist. It would be so neat if I could do this. If. But if is not reality. If only is a mirage like the desert. And it exists only in one's own mind. I take it that it is what it is. How many heard that? I know I have, lots of times. Oh, it is what it is. But how many of you really thought about those words? Taken them to heart. If there's a man on an elevator, he's at the top floor, and he's in a fat hurry, and he's looking at his watch, he's like, oh my gosh, I gotta get to the bottom, I gotta get to the bottom. And all these people are on the elevator with him, yes? And they're like, and he's like, come on, hit the button. So you think to yourself, what is wrong with him? I do. Is he following it is what it is? Is all this manic energy going to change anything for him? No. If he's late, he's late. It is what it is. Period. No ifs, ands, buts, or anything else for that matter. This takes me to the next thing, stress. That would be very stressful, don't you think? You know, going in an elevator with somebody like that, or even being that person. At a stoplight, just turn green, just turn green. I mean, how many people have you seen just standing, or I should say sitting, in their car? Just turn green. Road rage. How stressful is that? Life is way too short for that. It is what it is. But that stress can really, really harm people. And in this day and age, we have so much stress in ourselves, in our lives, in our jobs. And we run at a ridiculously fast pace. Then we ask ourselves when we get home, what did I get done today? A friend of mine told me the other day, oh my gosh, I was always in a hurry, I was always being pushed, I was always being this, I was always being that. It stressed me out so bad that all my normal calmness wasn't there. And I relate to that. I'm a very calm person by nature. I once worked at a job, and my calm nature was severely put to the test. My patient nature was definitely put to the test. I wanted to strangle him. That was Dan. But the bigger picture of it is I had to come back to, I can't change him. So I learned a mechanism called I code. I needed to make a decision. I can't change him. So I have to ask myself, is this situation something I can change? And the answer was no, I can't change this person. He is just a miserable person that rides herd on every person around him and makes everybody miserable around him. Because I couldn't change him, I had to make an option. What are my options? What are my plans? How am I going to address this? So that's where the code, I code, the P comes in. What kind of plan am I going to do to this? But then what are my options? And I look at my options, and then I put my plan into motion. And at the end of it, evaluate. Did that plan work? Did I stop caring because that person's just that miserable? The answer is yes. And that relieved my stress dramatically. I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be here tonight. These are simple truths.